The year 3024. The Earth had reached an era where space travel had become routine, yet unknown dangers still lurked. Luke, a young and brave astronaut, was on a mission crucial to humanity's future. Luke was an extraordinarily intelligent, well-trained, and skilled space explorer. He was physically strong and resilient, uniquely capable of adapting to harsh environments. Known for his strategic thinking skills, Luke was also experienced in team leadership. His mission was to find new habitable planets for humans, and he was ready to face any challenges to accomplish this task. During the mission, Luke and his team were exploring a moon called X-17. The surface of X-17 was covered with frozen water and ice, making exploration both difficult and dangerous. The team was working on the edge of a large crater, investigating underground water sources. As they walked across the frozen terrain, the ice cracked with each step, increasing the tension. "Be careful. This ground is very slippery and fragile," Luke warned, turning to his team. "Report any cracks or voids you see immediately." "Got it, Luke," replied Sarah, carefully monitoring her scanner. "The water sources in this area must be very deep. The signals are very weak." Michael, examining a large rock, said, "It's incredible to think there's this much water under all this ice. I've never seen anything like it before." At that moment, the sky suddenly darkened, and distant flashes appeared. At first, they looked like stars moving, but soon they realized the lights were approaching quickly. "This isn't normal," John said, looking at the sky with concern. "These aren't stars, they're meteors." Luke quickly turned to his team. "Initiate emergency procedures. We need to get out of here now. A meteor shower is coming." Sarah, looking at the sky in fear, asked, "Luke, what should we do? Should we head for shelter?" Luke had to make a quick decision. "Yes, run to the nearest cave. Everyone move immediately." The team quickly ran toward the nearest cave. However, when one of the meteors exploded nearby, a large piece of debris struck Luke's head and he fell to the ground. As Luke fell, he felt a warmth spreading from his head. His vision began to darken, and the sounds around him started to fade. Thoughts of the mission, his team, and the dangers of X-17 swirled chaotically in his mind. His consciousness blurred as his eyelids grew heavy. The last thing he saw through his hazy vision were the lights of the exploding meteors and the silhouettes of his panicked teammates. Time seemed to slow down. There was a ringing in his ears, and his heartbeat seemed to slow. He fought to stay conscious, but felt himself losing control of his body. One thought dominated his mind: "I can't die here without completing the mission." But with that thought, his eyes closed completely, and darkness engulfed him. The team rushed to Luke's side. Sarah was horrified when she saw his unconscious body. "Do we have to leave him here?" she asked, tears streaming down her face. One of the team members, biologist and medical expert Dr. Jenner, had to make a quick decision. "We can't leave him like this, but it's too risky to take him back to base. We need to use the cryo chamber," she said determinedly. Sarah looked into Dr. Jenner's eyes and nodded. "It's the right thing to do. We have to put him in the chamber. Maybe someday someone will find him and wake him up." The team hurriedly moved Luke to the cryo chamber. This chamber was designed to preserve life by minimizing bodily functions. Luke's cold, shivering body was carefully placed inside. Dr. Jenner quickly made the necessary adjustments to the chamber and sealed it shut. "Forgive us, Luke," Sarah whispered, as tears rolled down her cheeks. As the storm intensified, the team had no choice but to leave Luke in the chamber and return to base. Luke's chamber, now like a time capsule, put him into a deep sleep. Humanity had made great technological advances, but the mission in which Luke was lost remained a mystery. Aliens searching for signs of life near Earth decided to explore X-17. These aliens were a highly advanced, intelligent, and peaceful race. They looked very different from humans. They had long, slender bodies and bluish skin tones. Their eyes were large and bright, designed to reflect light, giving them superior vision in both darkness and bright light. Their hands had thin, delicate fingers developed for precise tasks, and their minds enabled them to communicate telepathically. These aliens were members of an organization called the Galactic Research Union, dedicated to finding signs of life across the universe. Their ships, equipped with advanced biotechnological devices, could detect even the faintest signs of life. When they decided to explore X-17, they sensed there were hidden secrets in the depths of this unknown moon. When the alien exploration team landed on the surface of X-17, they quickly analyzed the atmosphere's composition and the surface's geological structure. Their advanced sensors and scanners detected the remnants of a base and weak life signals coming from within. These signals were coming from Luke's cryo chamber. When the aliens opened the chamber, they found a human in a frozen state. This was their first encounter with a human. The aliens decided to use their advanced medical technology to revive Luke. First, they performed a series of procedures to gradually restore his bodily functions. This process involved cellular regeneration and repairing frozen tissues. Luke's body temperature slowly rose, his heartbeats returned to a normal rhythm, and he finally opened his eyes. As Luke slowly opened his eyes, he felt a heaviness in his head. Blurry shapes began to form in front of him. The first thing he saw was a room filled with bright lights and unfamiliar devices. His body was cold and heavy, as if he had awakened from a dream. But this dream had lasted 100 years. He was in shock and fear. Around him were beings he had never seen before. Their large black eyes and strange-shaped bodies startled him. Who were these beings? What had they done to him? As Luke tried to sit up slowly, a series of thoughts and uncertainties swirled in his mind. He did not know he had been frozen for 100 years. As he tried to gather his thoughts, memories began to flash before his eyes. The mission on X-17, the meteor storm, the impact, it all came rushing back to him. Realizing he had been in a cryo chamber for so long was both astonishing and terrifying for Luke. The uncertainty of how the aliens had found and awakened him only added to his confusion. Why had these beings helped him? And more importantly, would they harm him? Taking a deep breath, Luke tried to steady himself. He knew he needed to be strong to survive in this new world and understand what was happening. The aliens around him seemed more curious than harmful. Luke slowly began to calm down and thought, these beings are not enemies. As he looked around, he noticed he was in a room equipped with high-tech devices. The aliens' technology was far more advanced than Earth's. The devices he saw in the room were used to bring him back to life. At that moment, the door to the room opened, and a larger, more imposing alien entered. Unlike the others, this alien wore an armor-like outfit and had an authoritative demeanor. An alien standing next to him said something, and the leader approached Luke carefully. The alien leader began to speak gently to Luke, and his words were translated through a device. Hello, I am Zara, the leader of the Galactic Research Union's exploration team. We found you on X-17 and brought you here to our ship for treatment. How do you feel? Luke slowly lifted his head and looked at Zara. I'm amazed, but I'm alive. Thank you, Zara. Why did you save me? Zara nodded slowly. Our mission is to understand and assist all life forms in the universe. When we found you alive, we decided to heal you. Taking a deep breath, Luke asked, "So, how long was I in that chamber? Do you know?" After a brief pause, Zara replied, "According to our calculations, you've been asleep for about 100 years, Luke." Luke's eyes widened, and his breath quickened. 100 years? How is that possible? What about Earth? What is its current state? My team members, Sarah, Michael, what happened to them? Zara, understanding Luke's astonishment, tried to reassure him. Stay calm, Luke. I understand this is very difficult for you. We have information about Earth and will help you. We don't have details about your team, but we'll work with you to answer all your questions. Luke, trying to collect his thoughts, took a deep breath. His mind wandered between the memories of the past and the uncertainties of the future. 100 years. Being frozen for so long. It's like a miracle. But Earth, how will I return? What's happening there now? Zara understood Luke's concern and tried to comfort him. Don't worry, Luke. We'll find a way for you to return to Earth. With our technology and resources, we'll help you. For now, rest and regain your strength. Together, we can solve everything. As days passed, Luke's health improved rapidly. His body regained its strength, and his mind became clearer. Zara was pleased with Luke's recovery and one day offered to show him around the ship. Luke, today I'd like to give you a tour of our ship and introduce you to the various departments. Are you ready? Luke nodded excitedly. Yes, I'm ready. I'd love to see everything. Zara led Luke through the ship. Their first stop was the central control room, where all operations and communications were managed. The walls were lined with holographic screens displaying data from different regions of the galaxy. This is our central control room, Zara explained. We manage all missions and communications from here. Luke examined the high-tech table in the center of the room and the aliens working around it. Zara approached the person in charge of the room and introduced Luke. Luke, this is Aaron, the head of our central control unit. Aaron, a tall and slender alien with large black eyes and graceful movements, approached Luke. Hello, Luke, he said, in a soft yet authoritative voice. It's a pleasure to have you here. I hope you find our ship comfortable. Luke shook Aaron's hand. Hello, Aaron. Your ship is truly incredible. I'm very impressed by your technology and organization. Aaron smiled gently and nodded. Thank you. We coordinate all our galactic missions and research here. If you have any questions or need anything, feel free to reach out to me or my team at any time. Luke looked at Aaron with gratitude. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Everything here is so advanced, and I'm eager to learn more about it all. Zara lightly touched Luke's shoulder and signaled for him to follow her to the next section. Come on, Luke. There's still a lot more to see. As they left the central control room, Luke thanked Aaron once more. Inside, he felt a growing desire to understand both the past and this new world. As they moved to the next part of the ship, his admiration and curiosity continued to grow with each step. Next, Zara took Luke to the biotechnology laboratory. This area housed advanced medical devices and genetic research equipment. The head scientist of the lab greeted Luke with a warm smile and extended his hand. Hello, I'm Dr. Lauren. It's great to see you here. Luke shook Dr. Lauren's hand. Hello, Dr. Lauren. This place is truly fascinating. Their next stop was the education and simulation centers. These centers were equipped with high-tech simulators used to train the aliens and prepare them for various missions. Even during his brief time there, Luke realized how impressive and instructive the environment was. Zara introduced Luke to the head of the simulation center. Luke, this is Callan, the head of our education and simulation center. Here, our crew members are trained for every possible scenario. I'd like you to meet him. Callan, a broad-shouldered and tall alien with eyes that reflected knowledge and experience, approached Luke and greeted him kindly. Hello, Luke. It's a pleasure to have you here. Welcome to our education and simulation center. Luke shook Callan's hand. Hello, Callan. This place is truly amazing. Your technology and training methods are very impressive. Callan smiled and nodded. Thank you, Luke. We strive to prepare our crew for all possible scenarios through our simulations. We'd love to have you participate in some of these simulations. It could be beneficial for you as well. Luke listened to Callan's suggestion with interest. That would be wonderful. I'm eager to get to know your technology and improve my own skills. Callan showed Luke one of the simulators. I look forward to having you here as soon as possible, he said. Our simulations accurately replicate real-life conditions and help you prepare for any situation. Zara touched Luke's shoulder, guiding him to the next stop. There's still much more to see, Luke. Let's move on to the other sections. Finally, Zara took Luke to the living and recreational areas. Here, the crew could carry out their daily lives, relax, and engage in social interactions. The areas were designed to be comfortable and inviting, allowing the crew to unwind after long missions. As Luke toured all the different sections, he felt a growing sense of admiration and excitement. Zara and her team had explained and demonstrated everything in detail. When Luke met the heads of other departments, each one greeted him warmly and friendly. Luke began to feel increasingly secure in this new world. With each passing day, Luke's confidence grew. He realized he was not just a guest, but part of a greater mission. Zara's reassurances and the advanced technology around him gave him hope. He was determined to build a bridge between his past and this new future, to work with these new allies to create a better world for all.